Good, happy Thursday morning, April 21, 2022. I'm Riley King. Welcome to this Thursday morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Thursday morning, so let's get started right now. First up, Concord woman indicted in police chase following car theft in Londonderry. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
And a Concord woman has been indicted after a car theft that was caught on camera and the chase that followed. Prosecutors say Queen Tiara Wilson stole a RAV4 from a 7-Eleven in Londonderry in February. Police chased her through Windham and then onto I-93 into Massachusetts, at times reaching speeds of more than 100 miles an hour. Wilson is charged with reckless conduct with a deadly weapon, theft, and receiving stolen property.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. State Senate Committee unanimously rejects cannabis legalization bill. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Marijuana legalization is once again hitting a dead end at the State House in Concord. Today, the Senate Ways and Means Committee voted unanimously against a House bill that would make New Hampshire a cannabis control state. It would have legalized marijuana for sale only at state-owned storefronts, much like the current system for liquor. For years now, the Senate has been the end of the road for any legalization attempt.
Why would we want to join the herd of introducing to our culture legalization of a substance that is unquestionably a gateway drug?
This bill will still get a vote on the Senate floor in the weeks ahead, but given the bipartisan rejection today, it does not appear to have the votes in order to pass.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Police say broken headlight led them to Merrimack hit and run suspect. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Let's go, Toast.
When life has you playing hurry up,
Let's go.
Hertz keeps you ahead of the game.
Let's go.
Introducing our all-new electric vehicles.
Let's go.
Let's go!
Shortly after 5 a.m., police say Jose Cruz Vasquez was driving to work from Manchester to Massachusetts when he hit Mark Shamley in the breakdown lane on the Everett Turnpike. Shamley had left his vehicle to help another driver involved in an accident. Court paperwork states that a witness identified as Kelly Rodriguez saw an accident ahead and put on her brakes. At that point, she saw a vehicle pass her on the right in the breakdown lane and strike the pedestrian. While Rodriguez and others were looking for the victim in the woods, she told police that the suspect came up to her and asked what they were looking for, and then left the scene. Police used a broken headlight found at the scene to identify the make and model of the vehicle involved. That same type of vehicle with a damaged front end was later spotted parked in Manchester, and state police were notified. That vehicle led police to Vasquez, who, according to the affidavit, first told police he had hit a deer, but later changed his story. He stated that the vehicle in front of him pressed on their brakes. To avoid hitting the vehicle in front of him, he swerved into the breakdown lane. And that's when he struck Shamley. He told police he got out of his car, but when he heard people yelling, "They found him," he blacked out and panicked. That's when he drove away. According to the documents, the car Vasquez was driving broke down after he got off the highway, which is why it was parked on that Manchester street where it was spotted. Jason King, WMUR News 9.
And Vasquez was also charged with conduct after an accident and second-degree reckless conduct. He's scheduled to appear in court tomorrow.
Okay, there you go on that video and that report. Baby girl with 2 genetic conditions goes home for the first time. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
A special baby girl is home in Nashua for the first time. Franciscan Children's Hospital held a bubble parade for 11-month-old Rafaela Perez as she was released from care today. Rafaela was diagnosed with 2 genetic conditions and has been in the hospital since birth, so she wasn't able to see much of her 6-year-old sister because of visitor restrictions. Now the entire family is so excited to be back together tonight. Welcome home.
Look at that.
Oh.
Sister's love right there.
Okay, there you go on that video and that report. DOJ to appeal judge's mask ruling. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
The CDC asking the Justice Department to appeal that federal judge's ruling in Florida that essentially overturned the federal travel mask mandate on airplanes and public transportation. Tonight we have learned here that notice of appeal has now been filed. The DOJ will appeal this. That judge's ruling some 48 hours ago struck down the mask mandate, leading to joy and relief from millions traveling tired of the masks, but also sparking concern for millions of others who are still alarmed about the health of their children, their families, because of the spike in COVID cases across this country, driven by the Omicron subvariant right now. So tonight, the CDC appealing amid concern from many public health officials that the judge's ruling undermines the CDC's authority moving forward. What if there's another threatening wave of the virus? Will the CDC be able to tell Americans to put the masks on? So tonight, as COVID cases rise again in many areas of the country, the CDC formally asking for an appeal. The DOJ says it will appeal now. And what will this mean for millions of Americans traveling in the meantime, and for the CDC and its authority moving forward? Cecilia Vega standing by live at the White House, and ABC's Gio Benitez leading us off with the breaking developments.
Tonight, at the request of the CDC, the Justice Department is appealing a federal judge's ruling that overturned its travel mask mandate. The agency saying an order requiring masking in the indoor transportation corridor remains necessary for the public health. It comes as millions of Americans have already dropped masks on planes and public transit. The White House today pressed on whether it will fight to put masks back on.
We expect there to be ups and downs in the pandemic, and we certainly want the CDC to continue to have this authority.
For now, the White House is recommending travelers still wear masks. COVID response coordinator Dr. Ashish Jha had called the decision by that judge to end the mandate deeply disappointing, joining a chorus of public health experts voicing concern that the move undermines the authority of the CDC.
This change in policy sets a really challenging precedent for how public health is done in this country. A single judge overturning a mandate driven by public health professional means that we're unnecessarily putting many people at risk.
For now, Americans on the move are navigating a confusing maze of mask rules. No masks needed on flights, but if you land in Philadelphia, you'll need one inside the airport.
And now that I'm here in Philadelphia, there is an indoor mask mandate, yet I'm seeing so many people without masks, so it's really quite confusing.
After you leave the Philly airport, you can ditch the mask for a bus or train, but put it back on again inside a restaurant or store. New York is keeping the mask mandate in place at JFK, LaGuardia, and on public transit. Governor Hochul today warning about rising infections fueled by new Omicron subvariants.
We're not panicking about this. We're not changing, but we also want to make sure that we're smart about this.
All of this developing as they witness this rise in cases across much of the country. And Gio Benitez back with us again tonight. Gio, the CDC tonight asking for an appeal. The DOJ, just before we came on the air, filed notice already that they will appeal. But of course, we have millions watching tonight. In the meantime, bottom line, does anything change for Americans planning to travel in the coming days?
So, David, at this point, nothing changes until this is decided by a federal appeals court. And let me read to you what the CDC is saying tonight, just before we came on the air, that it believes this is a lawful order well within the CDC's legal authority to protect public health, David.
All right, Gio Benitez leading us off tonight. Gio, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for this morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Thank you for tuning in and watching. Have a great day, everyone, and goodbye.